I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
Okay, the hour has come. We told you about her story. You hopefully played it. And now we're going to spoil the heck out of it for you. Where do you want to start? At least I got my giant page of notes, which probably don't show up very well.
Yeah, quick synopsis for everyone that didn't watch the other video. We talked vaguely about her story. It's a game from Sam Barlow that did Silent Hill Shattered Memories. And it's about a woman that is being interrogated because her husband has been murdered. End scene.
Yeah, well, actually, that's almost a leap, because at first she doesn't even know. He's just missing.
He's missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're just seeing everything from her being interrogated, and you can search this computer for keywords because all of it's transcribed, and then you piece together how it works. So
yeah, you have like a 90s computer database. And the woman in question is Hannah Smith, who's like a very lovely, like, brunette woman. She's in her like mid or maybe late 20s.
Yeah.
And she's very concerned because her husband Simon Smith went missing. And you start to learn a little bit about their life, about how Simon works for a
mirror company.
Pardon?
Mirror company.
Yeah, well, I guess they just do like glass work.
Yeah.
To glaziers.
You get mirrors and reflections and that whole thing, and so what you basically find out is that there is another woman.
There's a twin.
There's a twin sister.
Spoiler.
Twin sister spoiler. Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of this. But that's actually I think that's the point of contention is she a twin or is she a split personality? And from the evidence, I think I gotta go with twin.
I gotta go with twin too, Blood. What's your supporting facts?
So I've got a couple of weird things. Number one, the bruise.
The bruise is pretty indicative.
At one point you see
people.
her with a bruise, and then the next time you see her, like, they're like, what happened to your bruise?
Yeah.
And plus, when she has the bruise, like, she has that total, like, spousal abuse victim kind of excuse. Like, I hit a cabinet.
Yeah,
and
she when she doesn't have the bruise, she plays it off as, oh, I'm a quick healer.
Yeah.
I'm a quick healer. And you're like, bruises like that on your face don't heal that quickly. There's also the tattoo. Mm-hmm. One of the girls has a tattoo and then miraculously has it removed the next time she's in for an interrogation.
Okay, I didn't notice afterwards. I did notice it like just kind of popped in there out of nowhere. And then the story about her getting caught by the parents. Like she came down from the attic to use the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
And then the parents saw her and was like, you got to get ready for school. And so she ducked into the bedroom, and then Hannah came out with, fully clothed, like, oh, you're so fast at getting ready.
Yeah. Well, at the point in my playthrough, I already was like, when I saw that video, I like knew that they were twins. Very early on, one of almost the first clips I watched was her confession. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I got into the Florence midwife clips really, really early. Mm. That basically laid out the story of we were two twins that one was proclaimed dead, though the midwife Florence just took in Eve, who's the other sister, and kept her locked away in her house and raised her, and Eve could only see Hannah's reflection across the street, and then ultimately realized it was another person. I don't know how you feel about this, I think that Eve killed Florence, and I think Eve killed their parents, their biological parents, and potentially caused Hannah to have her miscarriage.
I think that could be possible. I also think she killed Hannah.
Well, yeah.
The whole thing with the guitar and the song, you're like, what?
Yep. And at the end when she's like, my sister's gone, she's not coming back.
Yeah.
So you think she killed Hannah at the end there?
Yeah.
Because there's no trace of Eve. They can't.
Right. Like there's no record of Eve for whatever weird reason. Like she's not in the system.
Yeah.
She's just been locked in a attic.
A lot of people I've noticed are pushing the split personality angle, but I just don't buy it. I mean, the two different sets of prints between them, there had to have been a third person providing that unknown set of prints that the police found in Hannah and Simon's place.
And then it would also kind of, in a way, it would sort of rub against the purpose
Yeah.
of like having one actor. You know, it's
Absolutely.
it's like you have one actor, and then it's like, oh well, he's just acting.
Yeah, and it's funny because when we did the first discussion of this game, Brandon Jones commented that he thought that the actress that played Hannah and Eve wasn't a great actress, and he hadn't finished the game yet, and I guess hadn't come to the assumption that she's maybe playing twins, two different people. And because when I first started playing the game, I thought she's a little weird, but it sort of makes sense when you realize, oh, she's trying to like convey two different personalities without letting on that she is doing so.
I was really trying to get to the bottom of like who was who and who preferred. Like I was even trying to. I wasn't very successful. I was trying to like, who likes coffee and who likes tea?
Yeah, yeah. Clearly, I guess Eve had the morning sickness, right?
Yeah.
Because Eve was pregnant with, we assume, like Simon's baby. The whole story. I think the story is really, really great. The one thing that I didn't pick up on until I was reading about it later was that Simon gave them both mirrors as birthday gifts. I just thought it was that he gave one to Hannah, and she, in a jealous rage about Eve, flipped out. But I didn't realize that he also gave one to Eve, and that set Hannah off too. The whole theme about reflection in this game is great.
Also, like if you move the window, did you see the thing behind? There's like basically a log to show you like which clips you've seen. So you can get through like a majority of that, and then like get the reveal of who your character is, being the son.
Yeah.
Or is it son or?
I think it's the daughter, because I think her name's Sarah.
Oh, is it Sarah?
I think it is.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I remember the reflection, and I like, is that a guy or a girl? I'm not sure. Anyways, so you get to reveal that you're the kid, but then there's like all of these pockets of things left, and I had like these huge pockets of things that like I didn't even touch that day, and so I like trying to figure out, and I did actually do a little cheating for the lie detector test because that was just nuts.
Yeah.
It was like one word answers.
Yeah. No. Yes. No. I mentioned last time that I like had a system that I used toward the end to unveil
I think
all
I
the
might have
clips.
read
Did you
about
do
that.
it as well?
I didn't do it, but I could see how it would be easy to like piece together the story. You're talking about the blank?
Searching blank, yeah. I just had an inkling. I was like, what if I just like search for the clips that I hadn't tackled, and then label them. And that's how I uncovered everything eventually. But it was really fun to try to come up with as many keywords as possible.
Yeah,
and phrases to unveil everything.
And pages and stuff. I actually just started putting in numbers at one point.
Really? Well, you did what I did, which was I was like a maniac, that I had a notepad next to me, and I was just like scrawling anything that I thought could, and I was like Jim Carrey in number 23, just like piecing out my conspiracy theories. I noticed a lot of comments about how some people they kind of got the gist of what the story was early, and then they were like, well, that's it. But I kind of liked like unraveling everything.
Yeah.
Even if I had an idea.
That one point where she gets annoyed at them for having her give the same testimony twice, because like the officer was figuring out what was going on there, and then it was like she got pissed at him, like, how's your sex life?
Yeah. Yeah, I did like when she sassed the officers because they were getting a little personal. I liked the Morse code tapping that they were doing.
Yeah, when she freaked out. Yeah.
Do you think so? I couldn't tell if it was implied that maybe they were both in the station somewhere and she was trying to communicate to her, or that was just
I think that was just
muscle
like
memory,
like a defense mechanism kind of stress thing.
Yeah, I really liked how eventually you realized, oh, that tapping she did earlier, that's in reference to this.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know somebody, it was like I saw one comment that was like upset that there wasn't multiple endings or something. I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like it is like it's like a jigsaw puzzle, or like a mosaic or a shattered mirror or something. Where it's like you're just trying to figure out where the pieces fit.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think it is relatively open-ended as well, because like I was saying earlier, I sort of think I have a personal like theory that
interpretations.
Eve killed her parents, and like you were saying, killed Hannah. And I think that makes it really interesting too, because then you're left with this really eerie feeling.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too. The person that brings the kid out of the room, you know, is like, so do you understand what happened now? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm kind of like, not entirely.
Yeah. Well,
but they don't like take the moment to like wrap it all up for you in a bow. It's like you still, you know.
at first I was like, I wonder what will happen if I say no. So I said no, and then he's just like, okay, well take the time you need. But then I thought, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And then eventually I just got out of the game. But I think, is it implied that the person that you are communicating with is Sam Barlow, the writer of the game? Because the initials are SB.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Maybe.
But now I totally need to go play Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Right.
Because so many people are saying, oh, this is just the plot of that. But I'll have to see now. That was really, really interesting, and I would love more games like this.
Yeah.
It
was fun. Should do it again.
Thanks for watching.
Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, he swims in the swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.